Hi everyone, Mike Stuchiner, Master Herbalist here with Z Natural Foods. That's Z as in zebra. So you can also, just as a quick FYI, or as I like to say, FY, you can find me also on my YouTube channel at a Master Herbalist's Perspective, where you have lots and lots of wonderful herbal medicine information. So, with that said, today I am going to discuss and review a product from Z Natural Foods called IMMU, IMMU, then the letter C, IMMU C. But before we get started, you know what I got to do. I have got to give that medical disclaimer, so do not change that channel. Now, wait a minute. All right, there we go. So, the info you are about to hear is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to treat, prescribe, or diagnose any medical conditions. And it is also not, N-O-T, not, a replacement for your doctor's medical advice or diagnosis. So, with that said, from a master herbalist's perspective, I would consider this specific item that Z Natural Foods created to be more of what you would call a daily wellness optimizer versus, let's say, a tonic formula or an adaptogen formula or a mushroom formula or a superfood formula. Even though, by definition, it has all those attributes. It has adaptogen-like qualities. There are tonic herbs in there. There are superfoods, and there are mushrooms in there. But the formula itself, in my opinion, would be considered more of a daily wellness optimizer. Okay? So, Z Natural Foods has specifically picked what I consider to be some of the really great traditional Chinese medicine tonics with adaptogen-like qualities that have been traditionally used very, very well together. And to that, added superfoods with some pretty powerful qualities to them. Okay? So let's go over what is actually in this formula. I'm just going to briefly kind of swing through all the different things that are in this formula and tell you a few of the unique and interesting attributes of this formula, okay? So, first you have traditional Chinese tonics like astragalus used to fortify protective qi, and reishi, which is also known as the mushroom of immortality for its nourishing qualities of what Chinese medicine knows as the three treasures to support a healthy aging process. This formula also has antioxidant and fatty acid rich nourishing foods with nourishing qualities like orange juice powder and sea buckthorn powders, which, for example, may actually support healthy mucous membrane restoration. The unique compounds found in both mangosteen, which is xanthones, and ginger, which are gingerols, which have been specifically researched and shown to potentially support a healthy inflammation process. And then, of course, you also have chaga mushrooms, grown in the most brutal conditions and picked at the prime time after an extensive aging process to create optimal levels of many potent compounds, specifically polysaccharides, providing us with the nourishment we need to have what's known as a healthy immune system response to those unwanted invaders. Okay, and then finally, what you have in this product is turmeric. Unlike its well-known isolated constituent known as curcumin, which is quite specific to modulating what's known as nuclear factor kappa B, turmeric has many modes of action with upward of 300 activities ascribed to it. This actually shows its ability to actually not necessarily be about being what you might call a inflammation modulator, but more of an amphoteric, which is something that is used, it's a substance that's used to normalize the function of organs and systems. Okay, so as you can see, this is a really well-rounded product. You have your tonic herbs, you have really powerful traditional tonic herbs, you have mushrooms that have very strong adaptogen-like qualities to them. You also have really nutrient-dense superfoods, and then you have things that have very specific targeted approaches that don't just work on one specific mechanism of action, but instead work on a broad range of mechanism of actions. Okay, now to end this video, what I wanted to actually discuss is the concept that Z Natural Foods, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think did an excellent job in handpicking specific ingredients based on 3 concepts, okay, with a goal of creating a well-balanced formula that helps to support an internal environment in the body to create optimal well-being, okay? So, number 1 is synergy, okay? Now, I know that's one of those buzzwords, blah, 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 synergy, rawr. Okay, no one really, everyone hates the word synergy, but that's okay, because in this particular case, what I'm referring to as with synergy isn't just about how well the herbs work together and how the constituents sort of blend together and mix together. To me, this is more important because in this product description, you will see a link that you can click on to an article that I wrote about adaptogens. It's a very simple article, but I specifically talk about one category of adaptogens known as stimulating adaptogens. And it's really important to understand there are, I gave 2 examples, rhodiola and red panax ginseng, okay, that are warming herbs, that are stimulating, that, for example, rhodiola can be quite drying by nature, okay? And they both have very unique mechanisms of action. But here's the important thing, okay? Someone with a fiery personality, someone who runs on the warmer side, someone who runs on the drier side, those herbs may not be the best choice for them as individual herbs. But if they are put in a properly formulated blend and they are used correctly, those herbs can be tremendous tools in supporting the body's healing capabilities. So this is why when I speak of synergy, I'm actually speaking about how do the other herbs and foods in the formula modulate one another and make each one of them work in a better and more efficient way, okay? Number 2, I just spoke briefly about, was mechanisms of action. Notice how I said mechanisms of action with an S, super important. No herb is known for having just one mechanism of action, okay? I even just said it earlier when I was talking about turmeric. Turmeric has been ascribed and linked to more than 300 actual actions within the human body, chemically, okay? So there is no such thing as one action, okay? The only time you'll find that there is one action is, for example, with curcumin, okay? Which again, I talked about when we were just speaking about turmeric, okay? You have to understand, one of the primary mechanisms of action is what it does in the inflammation cascade with nuclear factor kappa B. That is because the curcumin was isolated as an individual entity, and therefore it has a more specific targeted approach. But when you're using something that's whole and more well-rounded, where you're not isolating one specific constituent, you always will have mechanisms of action. And that's exactly what you have here in this formula. You have the whole herb, the whole food in extract form, okay? And then the third and final aspect of putting this formula together was well-studied traditional uses. I spoke about this when it came to the astragalus and the reishi. Astragalus and reishi are probably two of the most well-known Chinese tonic herbals used for thousands and thousands of years, amongst many, many others. But the point is that not only are they well-researched and they have this tremendous tradition behind them, but they work really well together. Okay, so when we talk about well-studied traditional uses, it can't just be, well, this is the traditional use, we'll throw this in. It has to go along with how everything else in this formula is working. Okay, so I hope that this short video was a good, quick explanation for you guys, talking a little bit about this product and getting you to understand the concepts of how this item was made. Mike Stuchiner, Master Herbalist, Z Natural Foods, and also remember, check out the YouTube channel, A Master Herbalist Perspective. I will see you next time.